Today on This Old House,
To heat and cool this mid-century modern,
we tapped into the Earth's energy.
then we'll reveal what makes these kitchen appliances accessible.
And it's Judgment Day. Let's see if all the hard work we put into this house to make it energy efficient pays off.
That's it. Hey there, I'm Kevin O'Connor and welcome back to This Old House and to our project here in Lexington, Massachusetts, where, believe it or not, we are just a couple of weeks away from completion. Outside, you can see Jen's landscape design coming together with the plantings in. The outdoor kitchen has been installed as well. We're just waiting for a stone countertop right there. And check out the massive blue stone patio. Most of the stone is down except for in this corner. The tent is keeping it warm enough so that the guys can grout the last couple pieces. And also, there will be a fire pit in that corner right there. Now, there were a lot of reasons to renovate this old mid-century modern, but first and foremost was to make the home accessible for the family's middle son. He was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and we know in about a year's time he's probably going to be in a wheelchair. So accessibility is key, but also anything that we can do to improve his quality of life, well, we're trying to do that too. So we've got this therapy pool right here, which is a nice touch. Hey, Charlie. Hey, Billy.
Hey, Kevin.
And with the therapy pool, a lift, right?
Yep, this is a pool lift that will help anybody in the house, but most likely Billy, get carry in and out of the pool.
Gotcha.
And it's a portable one, so you just pull out the plug and drop the pin right down into the sleeve. And now just really getting Billy used to using it.
So once that goes in, arm comes up?
Arm comes up, which will give us about a 4-foot reach into the pool, and we're still waiting for the chair actually to get here, but
Yeah.
looks like it's pretty simple.
Okay, nice feature, right, Billy?
It is. And it's nice to have the opportunity today to check it out and make sure I know what I'm doing.
Well, I know Caffrey's gonna love it, right? If he gets him in and out of that pool, that's terrific.
Yeah,
You know what's also gonna be terrific? Giving you the keys back in a couple weeks.
we can't wait.
I bet. All right, I'll catch up with you guys. Well, as I said, accessibility is key, and one of the ways to do that is to make sure that this bluestone patio comes flush with the thresholds of the entranceway. So there is one here, there's one here, and there's a double door behind me. Now, if Charlie had taken this patio and he started it here, and then he pitched it away from the house, this is 24 feet, that means the patio would have been down about 3 inches right here. The solution was this, a center linear drain, which means that they can now pitch the patio from one side to the center and the other side to the center, so we have 2 high points, flush here and flush over there. There are 2 cap options for the grates, and I'm told that Billy and Michelle have chosen the black option right there, and well, the effect is terrific. Check this out. Bluestone patio comes right to the threshold, no lip. These doors, which will be controlled by a motor, will open easily, and you'll be able to come right in to the kitchen. The quartzite countertops are in with a big deep overhang. We've got some appliances going in, the hood right there. And then we've got the waterfall edge detail right there. That is a beautiful look. And then as you push forward, we come into the living room, and we've got a staircase going down to the lower level. And there's quite a bit of work still left to be done down there. But down on the lower level, there is one place that is complete, and that is our new mechanical room, a portion of which is dedicated to our new geothermal system. And today we've got not 1, but 2 Chithuis here to make sure it's up to our standards.
So Ross, there are a million ways you can heat or cool a building here in New England. It could be a ducted system, it could be heat pumps nowadays. So you had the engineering challenge here. What'd you come up with?
Yeah, so it all started with a conversation with Billy and Michelle to understand their goals and expectations for the project, right? And one of the things that we knew is that we had a lot of glass and we had some old brick walls, right?
Yep.
So we needed to think about comfort. And the way we did that was with hydronic radiant floors. They also wanted to be energy efficient, so that led us to a solar panel system to generate electricity to be used inside the house.
What a perfect roof for it. It's south facing, it's extraordinary.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
They also wanted to use the ground to heat and cool their building.
Sure.
So it started with the geothermal system,
Yeah.
right? There are 4 holes that are drilled 500 feet deep. We lowered a U-bend pipe system in it, filled
Yeah.
with liquid, grouted in place.
Yeah.
Each one of those supply and returns makes their way through trenches into the foundation wall.
Right.
And that is how they extract the heat and reject heat to the ground.
So it can pick up some of that 50 degrees that's under the ground, transfer it into the heating inside the building, and we can heat this place for almost free.
That's right.
Cool.
check
Let's
it
go
out.
to Command Central. Well, Ross, I have seen plenty of your mechanical design layouts from boiler rooms like this, but I tell you, this is art.
Yeah, this one wins.
It's
for
just,
sure. Yeah.
you see it, it doesn't always get piped like this, so everything is logical and simple, really. It seems complex, but it really isn't. Right. And look at this, it's almost like artwork. Look at the ductwork, it's like they've painted it in perfect.
Everything's dialed in
I
perfectly.
wish it was always like this.
I know, you're telling me. So this is where the geopiping starts,
Yep.
right? So here's the 4 supplies and the 4 returns coming through the foundation wall. They're connected to these circular pumps.
Super efficient pumps.
And this circular pump is going to be on the entire geo loop, right? So it communicates from the geo heat pumps to the geo field. This is 50 degrees on this side, and the heat pump elevates it to 120 degrees to heat the building,
Yeah.
or it can be cooled to 45 degrees to cool the building.
Right.
All right?
And these heat pumps always seem so confusing to people, but inside it's relatively simple. It's got a really efficient compressor inside that can change its speed, and you got heat exchangers inside, and that'll actually compress the refrigerant to get it hotter, get it hot, or release the refrigerant to get it a little colder.
That's right. And so now we can take that 45-degree water that when we're cooling and store it in the chilled water
Yep.
tank, right? So this stores nice cold water.
Yep.
We can also take 120-degree water and store it in the hot tank, right, for heating the building.
Right. And this tank's really interesting. This is where we store all the heated liquid that we're going to use. But the other thing is this amazing heat exchanger that goes down inside here that has potable water go through it. So fresh water comes through, comes down. It picks up the heat from that 120 stored. And now it could go to the faucets, but actually it goes over to this tank right here. This is a hybrid water heater, and that has a little element in it. But what's most important is it's got a heat pump on the top. And what that does is these rooms can be 90 degrees because you've got all the heat coming off of the pumps and the piping. And so now you'll take that, instead of having it be too hot, have it go right into the hot water, have plenty of hot water.
This is going to air condition this room and take that heat and put it into the hot water.
Right.
It's
pretty smart.
amazingly efficient.
Pretty smart.
The other thing too is that when we are taking this chilled water, right, and we're cooling the building, we're sending that over to air handlers like this. So we have return air that's coming through a filter.
Yeah.
It comes through the air handler. This is our chilled water or cooling piping.
Yeah.
It goes through the blower and then makes its way to the hot water coil for heating.
So here's our hot water heating coil, and the air blows across it like an automobile radiator and heats the air. Now, we don't have radiant everywhere in this building, so in some cases we're going to have air handlers like this, where the thermostat's going to say, I need to be heating, and it'll use this coil, or it's going to say, I need cooling, and it'll be using this coil. And that's where you get that simultaneous heating and cooling that's important to you. You look at this, it's just art, but it is a fair amount of industry. I mean, this is a big amount of money by the time you start talking about the wells and the piping and the ductwork and everything else. People would say, why?
Right.
What do you say to that?
I mean, it does seem over the top when you first look at it, but the homeowners had a really long-term viewpoint on the project, right? They had a 50-year time horizon. And when you have a really long time horizon, the capital cost, the upfront cost doesn't matter as much.
Yep.
And on top of that, because everything here runs on electricity, we size the solar panel system to generate the electricity that the heat pumps use in addition to all the circular pumps.
Yeah.
So effectively, they are net zero, meaning they don't have a cost to heat and cool this building.
And there's a tax credit too, right?
That's right, federal tax credit as well.
This is the place I'm going to want to sit every time I come here, not in the living room anymore. All right, and I bet you our rating is going to be really good from our energy rater on the mechanical system, so we'll get an A+ there.
Absolutely.
Now I got to go check with him to see how we did on our building structure.
Good luck. All right, see ya.
John, you're making some great progress for us here.
Thank you.
Some smart looking appliances too.
Very smart.
Smart, and I'm told helps with accessibility.
Yes, correct. So we don't have electricity in the house yet, but this will have a feature on both of these ovens that you touch a button and then the door automatically pops open.
Very nice.
And they also swing. These are left swing doors.
Right, instead of the traditional pull down.
Correct.
Right
Yeah.
there.
Same on this one.
And this unit is what here?
This is a convection steam oven. This replaces a traditional microwave today. Very quick cooking, and it comes out very fresh with leftovers.
Yep.
Things like that.
Terrific.
Traditional built-in refrigerator with ice and water on the door.
Okay.
Got our nice dishwasher here, waiting on a panel for that. It's going to match the cabinetry there.
Very nice. Faucet, I'm told that when the plumbing is finally connected, that this is touchless as well.
correct, yeah.
So you just wave your hand over it, nothing easier than that.
Correct.
And then cooktop?
Yep, so this is an induction cooktop. Traditional cooktops have a spot for each particular pan.
Right.
This cooktop does not do that. You can put a pot anywhere on the
very
surface
nice.
here. And then once we have electricity, the cooktop communicates with the hood via Wi-Fi, so when you turn the cooktop on, the hood will also turn on at the same time.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Automatically.
Yep. A lot of new technology.
No one's got to reach up here or have to reach
Correct.
up there. If you can
Everything's-
control this, you can
Everything's
control
controlled
that.
right here. That is
Very
correct.
nice. All right. Looks good. I'm glad
Thank you.
anything that adds accessibility is helpful for our homeowners.
Yes, that's
All right,
true.
I'll let you get back to it.
You got it. Thank you.
Our mudroom sits just off the center hallway and the floating staircase right here. And you can see that on this part of the house, we've got the beautiful white oak floors, but we're hoping that the mudroom is going to be a hard working room. So this will be tile from here forward, and we're going to make that a nice even threshold. The cabinetry is in, the beautiful oak seating is in, we've got a closet on that side, and eventually we're gonna put a door in right here. Tom, we've got a blower door test, so we wanna get this place sealed up as quickly as possible, and I'm told this is a fire door.
This has to be a fire rated door. In other words, you have to have 20 to 30 minutes fire rating because this is a garage. If anything should happen in the garage, like a fire, you want to have 20 minutes to get out of the house.
All right, so you got a temporary step right here, Tommy, but this is going away?
It's going to go away because Caffrey is already having trouble with stairs. So eventually we're going to put a ramp in here. It's going to be sooner than later. And that will help him get up here. And then later, if he needs to wheelchair up, he can get a chair in.
Walk now, wheel eventually.
Right, and we'll have the special threshold, basically an accessibility threshold, which is nice and flat, so there won't be any interruption for the wheelchair or anything to trip on.
So the tile is gonna come and be installed right up to this level?
Right, it's actually going to be a hair below this right here. I wanted the door to be slightly higher, so when they put the tile in, they can slide it under the threshold.
All right, well, I got my belt. I can give you a hand. Where do you wanna start?
We're going to start on this side, installing our shims on the location where the butts or the hinges are. We'll make those plumb, and then we'll put the door in and against them.
All right, I'll get my belt.
All right, so I've got a laser set up. Now
Okay.
the first thing I want to do is I want to divide the opening in half, and the opening for the jamb on the door is 37 5/8. That's the size of it.
Okay.
We have to shim that in. So if I check the audio, I get 3/4 of an inch. So I divide that in half, and that would be 3/8 of an inch from the line and 3/8 of an inch from the wall. I set up my plumb bob, or the laser light, randomly. Now if I measure from the laser light back to my division line right here, which is centering it in the opening, it's 1.5 inches right there. So that means that I want to have my shims in place so that they match up with this line right here. So I move them in and out, and as soon as that meets that line, I should be the right distance that I need, which is 1.5 inches right there, and I'll do that at all the hinge locations, making this side plumb. All right, now we'll do the top hinge right here. You take a measurement from the light.
Oh, look at that. You've got a sixth sense for these things. That's right on.
Yeah, sometimes you get lucky. All right here in the center hinge.
All right, let's see.
All right, how's that there, Sonny?
Ugh, nailed it again.
There
Perfect.
you go. All right. Okay. Just a quick check, see how we did here. Shouldn't be any space. Nice and plumb. Perfect. Okay, good. Now that'll hold the door jamb flush with the wall when we push it into the opening. All right, let's stand it up just to give it a dry fit.
Watch those shims, please.
Yeah. Okay, so I think it's going to be fine. So let's take it, we're going to lay it back down to you. Take it down, make sure you have a good grip.
Got it.
Heavy. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to seal underneath this door right here. I'm going to seal it with foam, but this is a foam that is fire rated. And we're going to stand it back up into the opening. You ready there, Sonny?
Standing by.
All right, try it.
Like it?
Yep. There you go. All right, hold it tight on the hinge side. Now, if I take the level and I put it on the wall, you can see that this is the old existing wall of the house. And look at how far out of plumb it is. If I hold my level plumb like that, it's 3/4 of an inch out. So what I'm going to do is put my level on the jamb. You can see that the jamb is almost level. I've got to move it in just a little bit, but you can see how far away from the face of the wall it is down here, but it's flush at the top. So if I can just push this in just a little bit more, just like that. That little bit might make a difference right there. Check it. Yeah, that bubble is right on. So that door is plumb in both directions.
That looks good there.
How is it there, Sonny? Speak
One more,
to me.
hang on. All right, set a screw.
All right, so now our door is hung level and plumb and even. Next thing we have to do is air seal the joint with the fire caulking.
You good out there, Pops?
Yep, I'm good.
All right. Oh, look at that. Nice swing, good seal.
All sealed up good. Door works good, feels good. Tape up that hole, and we're ready for the blower door test.
Nice.
So Charlie, as you started this project, you were presented with a new and pretty stringent energy code here.
That's right. Any addition that's 1,000 square feet or greater, or a 50% or greater renovation is affected.
That's like almost every project, right?
Almost all of them.
All right, so this is called the HERS rating, Home Energy Rating System. It's been around for a while. It analyzes the HVAC equipment, the appliances, but mostly the R value of the building itself, right?
That's right.
Now, when I started in this business, what? The HERS rating might have been 140.
Yep.
If we did this project a year ago, it might have been 100, and now it is
52.
52. So now, when you think about that, you got to start saying, well, where can I improve my R value?
That's right. And when Billy and Michelle bought this, they love a mid-century modern. They love the glass, but they also love the brick.
Right. This brick is sort of such a focal point in this room, but it's not great for R value.
No, it's brick inside as well as outside. And if you remember, has that little layer of foam on the inside.
60-year-old styrofoam and it barely working.
That's
So
right.
what was the R value of this?
We had like an R7.
So that's not good, and that couldn't be changed.
That's right.
And then there was the floor, right? This was a concrete slab, and the R value was?
0.
Zero's not good.
Not good. So we demoed all the concrete. We saw cut it, had a mini excavator in here, made the work easy, but it was a lot of work.
So it was so dramatic to see it all come out, but it was great because it actually provided a place for us to run ductwork for air
That's right.
conditioning here.
And once all the ductwork was run, we encased it with foam insulation, refilled all the trenches, compacted it. Then I took another layer of closed cell foam and encased the entire floor, wrapped it up the foundation, about 2 more inches of closed cell, and that gave us an RV of about 15 alone.
And then you finished it off with
Another layer of concrete, sleeper system with 2 inches of foam infilled, a layer of subflooring, radiant panel,
Yeah.
then our finished white oak again.
an unbelievable sandwich, and it all came out perfectly to grade. And the R value was?
I think we have around a 17 or 20.
Which is great.
It's very good.
All right, so the question is whether all these things are going to make us pass our test. So, Charlie, you guys have worked really hard to get to this test day with our HERS rater, Kevin Ring. Hey, Kevin.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Nice to see you. So take us through the HERS rating system.
Well, we started at the beginning with a projected energy model, which is an energy model based upon our assumptions and best guesses as to what's going to go into the walls and the roof and the equipment. in
So you
the
enter it
house.
all into a
We
computer.
put this all in based upon assumptions at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then we visit during the course of the work to verify all the materials that went in. Then we collected all of the make and model number from the mechanical equipment, and we get the energy efficiency specifications for that material. And the last remaining unknown is the infiltration rate
Okay.
for the house. And
The
that
actual way that the house was built and assembled.
that
the pieces.
represents how drafty the house would
Yeah.
be on a windy day.
Okay.
And we test that with a blower door.
Right. So you got your blower door?
Yes, we do.
All right, let's
Could
start the
set that-
test.
We'll set that up now.
right, so blower door fan is on. So take us through this test.
What the fan does is it blows air out of the house until we've achieved a pressure difference between inside and outside. That pressure difference is 50 pascals.
Pascals, and that's equivalent to like a 20-mile-an-hour wind, right?
Yes. And then what the fan will measure in cubic feet per minute how much air we have to blow in order to achieve that particular
How much time do you
pressure.
need to get that reading with a big house like this?
The fan takes about 10 minutes
Okay.
at different speeds.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get coffee. Coffee.
Let's go.
All right, our test is done.
Yes, it is.
What'd you find out?
The blower door test is done. It came out to 1.4 ACH, air changes per hour.
In the old days, what would we see before a tight building like this?
You'd see 8 to 20 ACH.
So this building is tight.
Yes.
So I'm dying to know, how do we do?
Well, we've put this 1.4 ACH into the energy model, and the HERS rating came out to 39.
39. Looks like we're overachievers.
Wow, you are.
That's a tribute to your fine work.
Well, thank you, but a lot went into it for all of us.
Right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So, you know, say you hadn't made that. The other great tool you have is that smoke stick. You know, if there's a little slightest infiltration with the blower door on, you can just see it, and that can teach so much.
That's right. If you miss the smallest swing, like not insulating around a window
Yeah.
or a slight crack in an opening, that smoke test really shows it well.
Right. So what do you think?
Well, if you really think back 10 months ago when we started this process, you really have to be eyes wide open going into it and let the homeowners really know what all this is going to cost.
You know, this building will be here for the next 100 years, and it'll be tight and easy to operate forever. So I'm of two minds.
I agree with you.
But congratulations, you always do better than
Thanks,
that.
but it was a good team effort.
All right, Pops, a lot of progress, but still a lot left to do.
Well, the final push is on right now. We got a lot to do.
All right, well, until next time, I'm Kevin O'Connor
And I'm Tom Silver.
for This Old House here in Lexington, Massachusetts. So another mid-century model.
Yeah, looks good though.
Yeah.
I like them. I like them.
Next time on This Old House, just 10 months ago, construction began on this mid-century modern with a mission in historic Lexington, Massachusetts. The task, transform the space into an accessible home, but preserve the original character. It was a race to the finish, but move-in day is here, and it's time to find out if Charlie and his crew are ready to hand over the keys. That's next time. On Ask This Old House, our experts travel across the country to answer questions about your house. Today, Lee helps a homeowner whose yard is being invaded with weeds.
Bad thing right here, bittersweet, not good. Really evasive, it'll take over everything.
Then, Richard visits a homeowner looking to include a bidet in their bathroom remodel. Plus, Mark shares some information on the do's and don'ts of chimney caps. All that on Ask This Old House.
No famu fataru marokwasa wanimeta wanimela karsema zanikate kikate shinoku wa Shinkaku no kimasa motosoki kakado sanikakabe sanikakado. No sijima wakisikakia okake kakikaka hodo kanzita kasusin desuku sago ite ki omiso ko ihenare iromosu no mikisa wa tose kana nento kimaga sono ega gabuni ito Nani Yuri Gai Datomotara.
are you?
Hey, good.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
What do you got going on? You rode in?
Yes, we got a mess in the back corner of the yard.
Okay.
A lot of weeds and things. We just don't know what to do with.
All right, let's go take a look at it.
Great.
See what we got.
So this is the spot.
Okay.
The house back there, that used to all be woods.
Okay.
And so now it's there. We
Yeah.
want to create some privacy and clean this area up, but
Okay.
we don't know what to do.
What I'm looking at is we have some good things and some bad things. Bad thing right here, bittersweet, not good. Really evasive, it'll take over everything. So let's concentrate on getting rid of this, okay? And then we have some English ivy down here. Let's get this under control. And then we also have some nice juniper right here, which is really pretty. We'll just maybe prune this up a little bit. And then also we have some vinca in here. Really nice ground cover. Let's keep this and just we'll keep it under control a little bit. And then we got some ivy growing up on this tree. And I'm kind of concerned about this. Let me make a phone call, get my arborist in here, good friend of mine, let him take a look at it, see what he says, okay?
All right, that
Okay.
sounds great.
All right, good.
Thanks.
Henry, this is Brandon Mobley.
Hey,
Henry,
He's the
very
arborist.
nice to meet you. So I understand you have a tree that you're concerned about.
Yeah, Lee's recommending we take a look at this, and he's concerned.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know, the trees really don't benefit much from the ivy.
yeah,
You know, I think if they had a say in it, they would just say, get it away from me.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's a blue spruce tree, not in perfect health, and it looks like that's because of a disease called needle cast. So it's a fungal disease, very common in New England, primarily because of our wet springs we have here.
Is that why all the needles have come off?
Yeah, blue spruce trees are highly susceptible, so we see it a lot on this particular species.
What can we do about it?
There's a couple management strategies. One is a spray program in the springtime, and then a cultural practice would be to remove the old needles. That's where the spores of the fungus kind of overwinter. But this is pretty far gone. It would be a really hard tree to kind of get back into shape.
So you're recommending it come down, or?
Yeah, I think the best case here would be to remove the tree and perhaps replace it with something else.
So one concern we have is privacy. You know, this is a new house back here, and you know, the tree right now blocks some of that view. So that is a concern of ours, is to keep it some privacy.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna come in, we'll grind the stump,
Okay.
which would set up the site nicely for a replacement plant.
And I think we can have some shrubbery coming in. We'll figure that out.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Great, well, I can get the crew over here and we could start the removal process.
All right,
All right, great.
So we're gonna bring in an aerial lift truck. It's a 60-foot truck. Our operator is gonna dismantle this using a small chainsaw. He's gonna start with the lower limbs, taking off the smaller branches, and process everything through a wood chipper. So once we get the tree removed, we're gonna have a stump there. Stumps can be an eyesore or even a tripping hazard. In this case, we're gonna grind the stump so we have the ability to put new plants in.
Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it. Nice job.
Hey, my pleasure.
Appreciate it.
looks great.
Good
Thank
luck
you.
with the rest of the project.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon. You and me now. Got to go to work. So let's get rid of this stump grinding. What I want to do is put some of this aside so we can use it later on. Put around our plantings. I want it so we can hold water. I think we're good there. All right, so I want to attack the bittersweet, okay? And I think the way to do it is let's cut it and then we'll use these forks. This is a nice fork. It's a 4-prong fork, okay? Loosened up the soil and then you can pull the root out. Because if we just pull the plant out, you're not gonna get all the root out. So I wanna get all the root out, okay? Good root system, huh?
Yeah.
How you doing over there?
Good.
This one's coming. Make that work.
Oh, that's a good one.
Perfect.
Oh, that was good.
I got it.
A lot came off that one.
Yeah,
tree.
that's a lot right there. That's what we're looking to get out of here. So we got to keep an eye on this in the future.
Yeah, this is incredible.
Yeah. Let's get this ivy. What I want to do is just pull it hard. It's like 20 years overgrowth. That's perfect. It'll recover.
It's a shame to have that rock wall covered up.
Exactly. You want to show it off. It's beautiful, you know. Just get in here. So on this juniper, so I want to just prune it back real lightly.
All
You know
right.
what I mean? Just to show the wall off and get some more daylight in there for it. And just do some select cutting.
How often do you have to do this? Every spring?
These are slow grower, so you probably wouldn't have to touch this for another 2 years, 3 years. Really slow grower.
So you'll be back in 2 years?
Yeah, I'll be right back. Look at that. See, that looks a lot better. Okay, so the weeding's all done. So I think we're ready to put some plants in the ground. These are called PJMs, rhododendrons. The reason why I did, because we have one on the property right there behind us. So I'd like to use this one and that one and put them up here and stagger them a little bit.
They'll grow to how big?
It all depends on if you do some maintenance on them. You can keep them at the size that you want, but they'll grow big. They'll grow, 10, 15 feet tall.
You can cut them back every year.
Yes, you can. Correct. When we dig the holes, we're going to do the same depth as the container, but double the width.
Okay, all right. You don't have to put any fertilizer or anything like that?
No, I don't think we need to do that right now. It's getting kind of late in the season.
This is great soil.
It is good soil.
What would you do if it wasn't?
I would come in with compost. A nice compost mix would be great. Sure, there we go.
Oh,
Look at that. Comes right
it
out.
looked bigger in the pot.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? So what I want to do is just see how it's it's not too bad. This one's not bad, but they get root bounce. I want to just scratch up the whole thing.
It's a healthy looking plant.
Yeah, this one's good. But all I'm going to do is scratch this up, and the roots will want to go out. There we go. That's the face. That looks really good. Henry, let's grab the hose and let's give it some water first.
All right.
Cover this back in.
Oh, this is the easy part.
Yeah. I want to foot it, they call it. So we get it down in the ground. Put your foot around it. Oh, nice. Good hole. I think we did pretty good on this one. That looks great. I don't think we're going to have an issue with any ivy, but just keep an eye on the bittersweet. If you see anything, pull it up. Bittersweet's really aggressive. It will choke it out. So what I want to do is use these chips that we had from the grinds, and this will hold the water. Should be good.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, I think we're in good shape. What do you think?
I think it looks great.
All right. I need you to do me a favor. Water, okay? Every day for about 10 days.
All right. How long till it fills out the area? For the...
This area probably about maybe 2 to 3 years.
All right.
It'll cover him real good. All right. I think
great.
you'll be happy.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Good to see you.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Kevin.
Chimney caps, huh?
Chimney caps.
So I've been on a couple roofs with you.
Yep.
I remember building a new chimney with you. No cap. You
Right.
didn't put one on there. And I remember doing a repair where there was a cap.
Right.
Do we need them? What's the deal?
So when we're constructing a chimney, we kind of build it so it doesn't need a cap. But over the years, things develop that may make you need a cap. One of those things is, say, branches growing over the roof line and impeding the chimney, which would impede the draft on both a fireplace flue and a mechanical flue.
So two different flues.
Right.
So the ambiance sitting around the fireplace, and then your furnace or your boiler comes out of a different one.
Correct.
Might go up the same chimney, but come through the roof at a different spot.
Well, actually,
Or side by side.
different flues, but side by side, yes.
Right, gotcha. So just so I'm clear, what are all the things that a cap is doing for us if we decide to use one?
Okay.
You talk about the branches, so downdraft is one of them?
Downdraft is a big one. That's what the hood will do. It'll protect you from a downdraft. The hood is also going to protect you from a direct rain going down and hitting the bottom of your fireplace and creating problems that way.
Yep.
And the screen, that's going to protect you against critters, birds,
Gotcha.
and all of that.
Okay, and so this one here just sort of has a flange, the screen and the hood, so that will just sit right on top of the clay liner or the chimney that's poking through the rooftop.
Exactly.
Gotcha. And you brought, in this case, a black and a silver, so I'm assuming painted and what, stainless?
Stainless steel right here, which again is the premium of the two. This, as you said, is a black paint powdered coated, and it is a galvanized steel, which is a little bit different than the stainless steel.
I've also seen you work in copper, which is always acceptable.
So
That's an upcharge.
everything's an upgrade, right? You can do copper, and then again, configuration can be customized as well.
So just so I understand, you are representing what's poking through our roof, right? So we've got a brick chimney, which comes up through the house and above the roof line at some point.
Correct.
What's this?
This is your concrete cap.
Right.
That encases the flue liner.
Yep. And that's what this is poking through the roof.
Exactly.
So we've got the liner coming out, and then obviously, you know, we've got the screen, you're saying, with the hood on top, and then a little bit of a flange right here, so that sits onto your liner, and then what? We just thumb screw it and push it in?
Screws, make sure they're tight, one in each corner, and you're good to go. But this is a typical configuration, but sometimes when these flues are closer like that, and the chimney may be a little bit smaller, you'll see that the hoods start to overlap and bump each other.
Are these pretty standard sizes?
Exactly. This is a standard fireplace size. That's a standard mechanical size.
So hence we have a standard cap for fireplace, cap for mechanical. They might not fit if they're too close.
If they're too close, they don't fit. That's when you have to customize, which is what we have over here.
We could do such a thing, huh?
Yeah.
Can I? Look at this. Is this all stainless steel?
So this is all stainless steel, which is what I would recommend. But as you can see, Kevin, this comes with a flange. So this flange is actually going to bolt into this concrete cap. You can glue it. That's another option.
All the way around.
And of course, you have the screen. But if you notice, I have 4 bolts, one in each corner. Unscrew those, lift the hood, and then you'll be able to access and clean the flues.
Maintenance, cleaning, all that kind of stuff. Whereas the screen and the flange, more permanent, stays down.
Exactly.
Well, that's actually kind of nice, though, because now you've just got it over both of those, doing the whole trick.
Right, and I like this as a better look, too, so.
Of course. Well, there you go. All right, I love it, Mark. Thank you.
All right, Kevin.
Hot topic.
You got it, hot topic.
Mary Ellen, how are you?
Good, Richard. How are you?
It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Beautiful house.
Thank you.
Now, you sent me an email and you said you're in the middle of a bathroom remodel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why am I here?
Well, I'll tell you. We're remodeling the bathroom and really just got back from Europe and saw bidets. Used bidets, loved bidets.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if that would be a possibility here.
So you're in the middle of it right now. I didn't come a minute too soon. Let's see what you got.
All right. Okay, right this way.
Look at this. This is not a mere bathroom remodel, is it?
No. No.
Big, beautiful shower, couple of sinks, big tub, and a spot for something.
Hopefully a toilet.
Okay. Well, that's what the toilet is, but you know, when you talked about bidets, with bidets, it was always the case that you had the toilet and you would have the bidet close to it, next to it. Okay. That needed separate plumbing to both. They fell out of favor, and what we see now in the United States is always these seats that can go on top of an existing toilet. But what they've done recently is they've come out with a unit that combines a conventional bidet and a toilet together into one fixture.
Oh, yeah, that's what I saw in Europe.
Good. So that could go right here. So there's a couple of rules we have to make sure we have to follow. One is it has to be a standard rough-in off the wall, and that is 12 inches, which is exactly what a standard toilet has. Mm-hmm. You do need the water to be in the right location for this unit because it's a little different than a standard toilet. And you need to have electrical. So somebody was thinking ahead here, your contractor.
Yeah, well, you know, we weren't sure what we wanted really here, or what could fit, actually.
Well, I think you would be well served by having a unit that was a combination unit. Would you mind if I go shopping for one of these units?
I'd love that.
Okay, I'll be back. Okay. So, Mary Ellen, here is your brand new combination bidet and toilet. What do you think?
I love it. It's so nice and sleek and trim.
Smooth on the front, so it looks like it belongs next to this beautiful tub of yours.
Yeah, I didn't
It's got
even
all
notice.
kinds of features I'll show you once it's hooked up, but one thing is that it's got a bidet wand that'll stick out right here that comes right out of the unit. We've got some connections to make in the back. We've got 2 water hoses, one for the bidet, one for the toilet flush, and the electrical connection. But the installation itself is much like connecting a toilet to a flange. So this unit actually comes as a kit, and that includes a template. Now the template's pretty handy. You would put it over the existing flange and line up where the bolts are, and that lets you double check that the water is roughed in correctly. It has to be outside of that footprint. So in this case, we're fine. It also comes with closet bolts. These are special bronze or stainless steel bolts that will key right onto the flange right here, and that'll allow you to attach the toilet down to this closet flange right here. It also comes with a wax seal. It also has a special T-fitting, you can see right here, that'll allow the larger size hose to connect right here for the toilet and the smaller one for the bidet. And this is designed to install onto the top of any conventional plumbing supply connection right here. And that goes together pretty easy as a kit. You don't want to over tighten these bolts. You want to go hand tighten, then another quarter to half turn, and then cover it up. All right, Mary Ellen, here is your new baby. It's all hooked up.
Wow, it's amazing.
You get to do the first test drive. Oh, hello. So obviously the seat goes up.
Yep, wow.
Now,
Okay.
simply hit that to flush. Yep, that's that.
Okay.
Isn't it cool? You're going to be busy.
Yes.
Hit stop. Now you hit the dry, and it'll dry some warm air.
Okay.
The bidet function. So now hit the bidet function. Now,
Okay.
it won't have the bidet come on unless, so hit the bidet function, either one of them. You have to be seated. So when I do that,
Yep.
okay, so here comes the wand.
All right.
Now I'm going to block it so it doesn't spray. Okay, hit the stop button.
Okey-doke.
Okay. What else you got? Oh, look at the back.
Oh, more
More
functions.
buttons. So now you can set the temperature of the water. You can set the temperature of the seat
Okay.
in the winter. And you can set the temperature of the air.
Okay.
You can also change how strong the bidet is.
Okay.
And you know what you're going to also get a kick out of?
What?
You can flush the toilet like this.
Wow.
You can close the lid. You're done.
That's great, Richard. My
Enjoy.
gosh, thank you.
Enjoy. It's a perfect complement to this beautiful bathroom.
Oh, thank you, Richard.
Thanks.
This was awesome.
Mary Ellen seemed very pleased.
She was very pleased. It was a perfect finish to that great bathroom she's got there.
So lucky that she had the outlet, and also lucky that she had you to go shopping. What did that unit set us back?
That's about $2,700 plus installation labor.
Yeah,
I'm free. I was free though.
Priceless, of course. A lot of money.
It was a lot of money. There are some choices though. You know, that's a combination bidet and toilet unit. There is really a growing trend for people to have in these beautiful retrofit toilet seats that give a bidet function to an existing toilet.
Can you do it if you don't have powers or retrofit?
Well, it breaks into two categories. One is non-electric. So in the basic non-electric category, this is where you start right here. And this thing has a water connection like this that comes to the back of the toilet. This is how you operate it. It has two wands that drop down front or back, but it retrofits by taking the existing toilet seat up and away. Now this comes down to here, and it comes with these covering rosettes right here that will allow you to sort of line up, put the toilet seat back in place, and now you come back down and just...
So this would sit there.
And then you'd attach it on, and then that's what you end up seeing right there.
So you make the water connection right here, which goes down to the back of the supply, and then this becomes your control for water on and off?
Simple. Now this is great, but it's cold water, and none of the features. It doesn't have the automatic lift, it doesn't have the heated seat, and all the other stuff.
So what does this cost?
$60.
Oh, okay.
So it becomes basic, and it begins the sort of the story about hygiene, sort of using water to clean.
Yep.
So then in the electric versions, you got to make sure you order it right. There's two choices for American toilets. One is round front and elongated. This is elongated. This is what we have here. And this one here has a different adapting method for the unit. It would go down onto the toilet like this, and then you'd be able to use these adapters to tighten it up so you can adjust for the different toilet. You know, every toilet tank is going to be slightly different. You want it to line up just right.
Forward, back, left, or right.
That's right.
Oh,
and so now you make it up, tighten it all up, and then the toilet seat slides onto here and clicks into place.
And this is what you end up
getting.
It is. And what features does this have?
Okay, so this has a simple operator, no remote control, so it has front or back bidet function, on off for the dryer,
So because it's electric and I'm seeing red here, does that assume that it warms the water as well
It warms
for us?
the water. It warms the
very
way
nice,
you
yeah.
control that here. It warms the air, and it warms the toilet seat.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
And that does require electric.
And it costs us how much?
This is $300.
That's a pretty nice feature.
Okay. So that's pretty busy. Now, when you go to here, it gives almost every function that combination bidet unit has, except it doesn't have automatic flush. It has a couple of things that people are very enamored with. And that is,
Oh, so when you walk into the bathroom,
it greets you.
It greets you, right?
Okay, and so it has all the same functions, so we can raise the lid or close the lid, and we can also raise the seat. Okay.
Yeah, can I see this?
Yeah, you bet.
I want to just check it out. So this can it doesn't actually mount onto the wall.
It can. It has a place to mount on the wall.
Right.
Okay. What's really brilliant is you can intercede for the water supply. So you would turn the water off, and you can really do it yourself. Adapt onto the bottom of the toilet, make your connection to your bidet, and reconnect it right here. Okay?
Right. And I'm seeing night light here as a button.
So there's night light.
Oh yeah, look at that.
There's
and I
dryer.
can adjust the air temperature. I can turn the dryer on.
Yeah.
No kidding.
You know, it seems frivolous. This is about $900 for this.
Wow, that's a lot.
Okay. Well, it's not a lot.
I guess not
Versus
compared to 27,
no.
right?
And I think there's a story there. You know, it's way better hygiene, using way less toilet paper, and it's really something that once you own one and once you have one, you really start looking at people that don't have one funny. And I mean, no, it is.
How do you know I don't have one?
I don't know, but there's a story here that is really compelling to keep people in good hygiene.
All right, good. I
right.
love it. And that's very fancy. Thank you, Richard.
All right. So, hello.
Yeah.
And it talks to you.
I can't help myself. All of a sudden, I have to go to the bathroom. Next time on Ask This Old House, we visit the San Francisco Bay Area and show you how to protect your home from wildfires. First, Jen helps a homeowner create a welcoming front yard using native plants in a fire-wise design. Plus, Richard brings a hungry crew to help a homeowner's overgrown yard.
This is a really cool solution.
All that on Ask This Old House.